everybody, what is up? So good to be back with you on another Wednesday of AH Live. And today we have an incredible guest. He's back. I think it's been about a year since he was here. Yes, I'm talking about Jeff Ryan, and he is back with brand new music. We're going to hear from him in just a second. And also, of course, I've got a little throwback from when he was here the first time around. But real quick, don't forget to click share. We're going to spread the good vibes. We're here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to follow Adam Hawley Artist page, and we will just continue to have a great time. It's episode 80, if you can believe that. So crazy. But hey, you know we got to start her with some music, right? So let me pull up a tune here. I think I'm going to go back not too far. I'm going to go back to my third record. It's the title track. It's called Escape, and I was so fortunate to have the one and only Rick Braun guest on this tune, and we were so fortunate it was #1 for 3 weeks. So really appreciate the support out there. And hey, I've talked enough about it. Let's do it. Here is a little bit of Escape. goodness, ladies and gentlemen, that was just a little bit of Escape off of the third record, the title track. Well, huge thanks for all of you tuning in today to see the return of Jeff Ryan. Real quick, just remind you guys, we make it super easy. If you want to help out the show, just click the link in the description. It'll take you to PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. You can also do stars through Facebook. And you guys are the reason we are here now 80 straight weeks without missing a Wednesday. So appreciate you guys so much. It has been so incredible. And as I mentioned, we've got a brand new tune. I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's called New Day. And I just remember when I got together with Jeff Ryan and we were talking about his project, and we ended up doing a couple tunes. I ended up producing a couple for him on this new record, but he was talking about, I want to do some positive music, upbeat music, and this is way before any of the pandemic or anything like that, and so it was very apropos because we're definitely hoping for a new day. So this new track just came out a few weeks ago. We're so excited. A bunch of stations are picking it up. I'm also featured on the track, and we hope you enjoy it. So first, a little throwback from about a year ago when Jeff was first with us, and then I will hope you enjoy the brand new tune, New Day. Jeff, Ryan, with a little bit of New Day, a little NorCal vibe for y'all. Well, y'all know what time it is. We bring in my lovely wife, Kat, with the cat cam. There she is.
With the cat cam.
What is going on?
Oh, nothing, just getting through the week.
Yes, I know. And if you guys haven't already noticed, we are coming to you by way of pre-record because we're on tour. We are sitting in a hotel room, as long as there weren't any flight delays. We are currently sitting in a hotel room.
Probably eating pizza.
Right.
And or Reese's.
But we're in Louisville right now, and let me throw up that schedule right now. So tomorrow, we hope to see you all anywhere near Louisville. It is going to be so much fun. We've got Hiroshima in the house, and I will be doing my set as well. It's going to be so much fun. So that's Thursday. On Friday, in a couple days, we have the Quad Cities. We're in Davenport at the Redstone Room. It's going to be so much fun. And then the next day, we're in Chicago, and we've got a triple header. It's myself, Vincent Ngala, and Nelson Rangel. So very excited to be back on the road. And next week, we've got 4 shows. Atlanta, Birmingham, Columbia, South Carolina, and then back to LA for the Catalina Jazz Tracks Festival. So really hope to see you all out on the road. And we're probably mid-bite at this moment right now.
Well, and I'll give you the kind of explanation of that is because we've all kind of talked about this before in previous weeks. When we're in certain areas, usually smaller cities and smaller towns, a lot of things close very early.
Yeah.
And so either we're getting out of a show, or if we're coming from a flight from the airport and checking into the hotel late, there's not anything open, and we're usually catching Domino's or Papa John's right as they're closing, or they're like the only thing open for another hour or two. And the Reese's is because a lot of the times in the hotels, how they have like the little store where you can get water, chips, if you have any toiletries that you forgot at home. Mm-hmm. And I can always count on there being a pack of Reese's in that little hotel store. So if I can't have anything else, I know I can at least grab that and maybe some water.
Right. No, exactly.
It's not all glamorous as a lot of people may think 24/7. There are some of those times where we have to kind of just slum it up.
And the challenge, too, is that coming from LA, we're often losing 2 or 3 hours. Mm-hmm. We've got a connection. So, we'll leave and we'll have breakfast maybe at the airport. Maybe we'll grab lunch. But then dinner, we haven't had dinner. And for us, it's like we're already past due. It might feel like 9 o'clock, but it's midnight where we're landed.
Right, yeah.
Oh, it's always challenging.
And a lot of people always forget that, us coming from the West Coast to the East Coast, there's the time difference, and then there's really the whole day of travel, especially, well, not even if you have a connection, because depending on where you're going, especially if it's coast to coast, the flight is not going to be less than 5 hours. Yeah. So it is a whole day of travel. So, and a lot of people, kind of, they forget about that. They go, oh yeah.
And we usually do have a connection, it's unless it's just, just major cities we're going between. But, this flight, for instance, Louisville, is, it's not a hub per se. It's a large city, but it's not a hub. So, I think we ended up going through Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Chicago. And then, too, at some hotels, airports, especially now with COVID, how there's, fewer workers, and then, of course, just hours have changed. There might only be one thing open in the terminal, and there's like nuts and soda, and you're like, okay.
Pretty much. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's slim pickings.
We wanted to be in show business.
And then, of course, Adam, he does carry a lot of protein bars in his bag.
Got to. They come in handy.
Sometimes I'll throw in my suitcase things that I like, kind of like graham crackers, or also like mixed nuts. But then, a lot of times we don't have our suitcase right away, or then we get to the hotel, and for dinner, you're like, ugh, I don't want this pack of trail mix,
I don't know if I told you, but one time I was on the road with Brian Culbertson, and I toured with him 2013, 2014. And it was a similar thing, flying from LA, and I forget even where we ended up. But it was 1 a.m. I was starving. And this was before, I want to say this is before Uber, right? Because hasn't Uber only been out about 6 years?
Yeah.
This was pre-Uber. So I walked to a Steak and Shake at 1 a.m. and it was like a 30-minute walk. It was crazy, but I was determined. I was starving, and man, it was good. Let me tell you.
Well, I do remember, especially a lot of things like pre-Uber Eats and Grubhub and all of that. Adam and I would walk for a long time, and we would be following like Google Maps or something on our phone, like trying to find a really good spot that was like reviewed well, or someone at the counter at the hotel said, oh yeah, it's like 10 blocks away. So we've in our day have had to do a lot of walking for our meals.
Yeah. No.
And I'm just so thankful now that we can just say, okay, let's just get it delivered or call Uber.
Right. No, exactly. It's crazy.
I know. It's really crazy.
Well, we digress. Well, the one and only Jeff Ryan was in the house. He's just the nicest guy.
He is.
And this is one of the few shows you missed, but Jeff and I met up in Sacramento playing at a festival up there.
Yeah,
and I was looking for a sax player who could do my show. And I actually called Greg Chambers, another friend of the show, and he was like, oh, I can't make it, but you should check out Jeff Ryan. At the time, it was Jeff Tabeloff before he had his stage name. And man, he came in and destroyed my show. He just killed it. And then, bam, he was in the scene. You know, he met a bunch of people at that festival. And next thing you know, his record came out, did fantastic. And so it was definitely awesome to connect with him on the second record. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, produced a couple tunes for him. And the new single is just shooting up the charts.
Yeah.
It's on a ton of stations. And so appreciate you, Jeff, for... dropping that track and doing the video for us. New Day. And it's crazy, as I mentioned, we started on this record before the lockdown and everything. So, he's like Nostradamus to have that kind of, he almost could feel we needed some good vibes and some positive music, for.
That was a really cute reference.
I do what I can.
Right.
I do what I can.
And just a little tidbit is because I love period piece movies or stories and
every time
books.
I walk into the living room, you've got something Downton Abbey or The Crown or I don't know.
Well, yeah, and I do like things pre that as well, but it's just that reference was funny because
I tried. I tried. So anyways, big thanks, Jeff. Thanks for coming through. He's such a killer singular talent, and I know he's got some shows coming up too. I know he's going to be hanging out with Roland. Remember we went down to Melbourne and was hanging out with Roland Guiarte. He's going to be down there for the Intimate, I believe it's called the Intimate Smooth Jazz Festival. So look out for that. And Jeff
and
Ryan.
He's such a nice guy too.
Yeah.
And amazing sax player. Like
Amazing player.
He's got some really nice chops.
And gosh, I can't believe I neglected to mention till now, he's the whole reason our show looks like how it does.
Yes, that's right.
He got all these cameras set up for us. He spent hours with me on the phone helping me with the settings because I didn't know anything. Now I know enough to get myself in trouble.
Right.
But man, huge thanks again, Jeff, for really helping me. He's a photog. He is legit.
And I remember at the very beginning of lockdown, pretty much for a lot of people, and everyone was calling Adam like, how did you get your show to look like this? I remember 2 weeks ago you were using your iPhone.
Yeah.
And Adam was like, look, I know nothing.
Jeff
Ryan. He really helped me out.
Yeah.
He answered all these questions. He gave me all kind of tips and just really schooled me through it.
100%. Brian Culbertson was very helpful too. Cecil Ramirez and also Michael Linkton. I didn't ask him about it, but on his show, I saw he had the moving camera. I was like, I have to have that.
I remember
so
that.
he was the inspiration for this camera right here. It's on the rail. Anyways, I digress. Well, so another thing in the news of the Holly household is a few days ago we celebrated Adam Jr.'s birthday. He's
Yes.
officially a teenager.
He's officially a teenager. Oh my gosh. We're parents of a teenager.
He's already taller than you. He's coming after me now. In
He's already
2
taller than
years,
me.
he's going to be getting his permit and driving. Can you believe that?
And
Wow.
then in 5 years now, because he's 13, he's going to be going to college. Oh my goodness.
It's so crazy.
We're going to be in this big house by ourselves.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We already told Adam Jr. that if he's going to school out of state, that we're buying either a house or a condo nearby so we can always be by.
Right, yeah. We're gonna be helicopter parents, I
Right.
guess. So, but we're gonna be so lonely, so lonely.
I know.
But in honor of Adam Jr., and of course, when we get home, we'll share some more pictures with you of what we did on his birthday. But in the meantime, we have some throwback pictures.
Yes,
Throwback
pictures.
Back in the day, and we have a ton of these. These are gonna
We
be fun to flip
do.
through. Here, let's pull up the first one. Oh.
Okay, so this is for Cece in London.
Yeah.
Because I remember a few weeks ago, we all were talking about traveling abroad, and I guess people were asking if we ever had taken Adam Jr. And we say, yeah, we take him when we can, when he's not in school, and if we're in one particular place longer than 1 or 2 days.
Right.
So this is when you were on tour with J-Lo, and Adam Jr. and I flew out to Ireland, and then we drove to London,
Right.
because they had some shows in both Dublin and in London. So
Yeah.
there is Adam Jr. in the stroller.
Asleep.
You can show the picture. And so we all were talking about how he was turned around because of jet lag,
Yeah.
and he's in the stroller asleep. And we're seeing the London Bridge here.
And that was quite a journey because, as you mentioned, you flew to Dublin, but then you rode the tour bus
Yeah.
with me, the rest of the band, the singers, and then got a little taste of the tour bus life
Right?
on the way, all the way down to London. And yeah, you guys were out for about 5 days. But what's crazy is I had been gone 7 weeks. Then you came back, and then you came out to visit me. And then I was gone for 2 months before I saw you guys again. Because
Right.
we did the rest of Europe, Australia, Asia, and Puerto Rico. And it's pretty crazy, but
And during that time when Adam was on tour with J-Lo, he was gone, for weeks and
Yeah.
months at a time. And so when we purchased our first home, I was doing everything here on my end at home, and he was doing everything on his end, either out of state or out of the country, just via fax and email. And he had never seen the house. Adam Jr. and I had lived in the house, I think, 3 weeks before Adam actually
before I
saw
even
the
saw
house
it.
for the
It
first
was
time.
crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Oh, this
And
is more
there's
from
Big
London.
Ben.
Big Ben.
And Adam Jr. was so excited to see that because at that age, he was in love with Peter Pan and Hook. And so he was super excited to see it, and he never saw it because he was asleep in the stroller.
We'll have to go back.
We'll have to
give
go
him a
back.
second chance. Let's see what else do we have. Oh.
And there he is. We are at, oh my goodness, I can't believe I took this photo and cut out the name of the place.
It looks like it says Prospect of Whitby.
Prospect of Whitby. Yeah, but there's one other word.
Don't worry about that.
CC, if you recognize this or recognize half of the name, let us know in the comments what this place may be. But this was a recommendation of one of Adam's friends. He's a great bass player. He and Adam toured with the Manhattan Transfer together. And he and his wife lived in London for a few years for her job.
Gary
and
Wicks.
so he had said, oh, you got to check this place out. I think this may have been just some of the few hours that Adam Jr. was awake. But look at his face. If you can tell, he's like, why am I here?
Pretty much.
Pushing him around London.
Oh, but we enjoyed those pubs so much. We had so much great pub food, doing the pub crawl. So
Yes,
it was
definitely.
a blast. Oh, my God.
Look at AJ.
Ah! I'm going to cry.
This was, I think, one of the first photos,
Yeah.
like professional photos that we had taken of Adam Jr. And he was, gosh, I don't know, maybe 6 months?
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
6 or 7
Yeah,
months?
I
Look
think
at
so.
him. Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
You could just eat his cheeks.
I know.
He looked like he was ready to model, you know? So it's crazy.
There he is now. And then look at him. Oh my gosh. He's so cute. And his little onesie has guitars on it. Because we were big lovers of everything guitar when he was a baby.
Of course. Oh my goodness. Let's keep going. Let's see. Oh!
This is when I think he was maybe 4, almost 5. And that's when he first started Taekwondo. And as you guys know now, he's a first degree black belt in Taekwondo. So it took him about 5, almost 4, maybe 5 years to get to the black belt. So
And
he
he
stuck with it for a long time.
And he took some time off too, and then went back. And but now he's transitioned into basketball, so he's keeping it going. Oh, it's so crazy. Oh,
There goes another one when he was a baby, holding that guitar pillow. I love that guitar pillow. I
Yeah.
got that was one of the
Do we
first
still have that?
things.
that pillow
I
is so
think
awesome.
so because I didn't want to give it away.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things that I had bought when I was pregnant, actually.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, this is so cute." I got it from Pottery Barn Kids,
Oh.
and it's a pillow, but it's like super stiff, so it can like stand upright, and it's just so adorable.
So cute.
Look at his face.
So cute. Oh, I remember this photo session. This was so much fun.
Look at him.
Your friend from high school took these pictures? She did a great job.
No, my friend from college,
Oh, from college.
Allison.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's a professional choreographer for theater. And she and I used to do theater together when we were in college.
Mm-hmm.
And look at him. He acted such a nut that whole time, but the pictures came out cute. And look at my little waistline. That little belt.
Well, me too.
That belt probably
Looking
could fit
skinny.
around only my thigh.
Oh
now.
no. You are so no, absolutely not. Absolutely. Oh, this I really like this one because I remember she got him to jump and time it for the picture. It
Right.
was so cute.
And when I say acting a nut, like he was being so silly. He wouldn't sit still. All his faces were so dramatic. I don't know what was wrong with him that day, but the pictures came out really cute.
Yeah.
But if any of you remember taking photos with, your small kids, I'm sure you understand. It was just kind of like, okay, turn this way. No, don't do that. Don't pull your shirt out.
Right.
It needs to be tucked in.
Well, he had ants in his pants.
Right.
So, yeah. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, it's
Look at
another
him.
gorgeous picture.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe he was that small. Or me. Look.
You are crazy.
But we love taking family photos. We haven't done it in so long.
Yeah, we need to do it
because
again.
we're always just so busy from October through December. So
We were pretty consistent early
I
on.
know.
Let's see what else do we have. Oh, there's Taekwondo again. Oh, here we go. This is a cute one, and I think this is a photo session I missed. Unfortunately, I was on the road.
Yeah, I think you're on the road. I think J-Lo.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was one of our family photographers. We had been using her for years, and I kind of wanted to do something super cute for our Christmas photos without like a family picture. So all this stuff that you see in the photo, I brought from home, and those are some of Adam's guitars, and I had that chest and some pillows, and I had got some gift boxes that I already had like in the garage or something, and just kind of made a little setup at the park, and it looks so adorable. Look at him. And the actual Christmas card came out amazing with these pictures.
It turned out so cute. Oh.
And that
this is church.
yeah, I think that was you were playing at Tom Washington's church with his choir.
Okay.
And Adam Jr., I think he was only 1 year old or just about to turn 1, because I think I remember he was barely walking, because I remember that jacket, and I remember when I bought it, I think he was like 1.
And I think we have
He's so
one
cute.
more. Let me see. Oh, yes. I remember this cake. This cake was amazing.
This was from his 7th birthday. I loved this picture. I sent to Adam. I said, we have to show this because this is when he had no front teeth. I think everyone has to have these obligatory pictures of their kids with no teeth in the
Right.
front. And so, yeah, this was his 7th birthday party he had at a laser tag place that I think he had maybe 2 of his birthday parties, and we used to go all the time. And he wanted a layered cake. He wanted layered high, so that's what he got. and look at the inside, and it was so good too.
That was a killer cake. I remember that one. It was
An
very
interesting
tasty.
story about this cake where I bought this cake from the cake shop. It's in a city called Glendora here in SoCal. It's like one of the suburb areas outside of downtown LA. And the two owners, it's quite a crazy story. So it's two women, but it's an ex-wife and then a current wife.
Oh.
So the ex-wife, had kids and, with her ex-husband. And then the current wife also has kids. And then I guess they learned that they both bake and, wanted to start a business. So they started a business together. So it's like one big happy family business.
Wow.
Isn't it?
And where does the husband fit into this mix?
Look, he's probably winning because he's like, I got these two women getting along. The kids all see each other. We're making money both ends. But yeah, it's so wild. I mean, in a way, I can see how it works because like my mom and my stepmom, I mean, they've known each other for years and they're just totally fine with each other. We all can be places and just be fine. And she and my mom talk and it's fine. I know some people have different stories of like the evil stepmother or, something like that. So when I first heard it, I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. But then I was like, well, if they're cordial, but I think it is just weird just because like you're actually in business with the person. So you see them every day.
Wild.
And like,
I was not expecting that.
But they make some great cakes. They have their story and everything online. They're called Cake Mamas. Look them up.
Cake Mamas.
But they have great cakes.
Funny. Wow. Well, so that was a little recap of the years with Adam Jr. And as I mentioned, we just celebrated his 13th birthday. We're so proud of him. He's killing it. Straight A's in 7th grade. He's doing basketball. He's doing coding. He's really enjoying his mathematics, all that type of stuff. So we're so excited for him. What's in the years ahead?
I can't believe it. How you guys, all people that have like adult children and your kids started turning into teenagers and then all of a sudden they're like not wanting to be with you anymore. Then they're out of the house.
Yeah.
I can't even think about it.
It's so crazy.
It's so crazy.
So happy birthday, Adam Jr.
Happy birthday,
and
Adam Jr.
Before we get out of here, we have a couple of Ask Adam questions. Let's check them out.
Okay, so last week we showed photos of the progress of the pool.
Yes.
And by this time, the concrete has been poured because it was getting poured last Thursday.
Right.
So we'll show you guys pictures. But last week, Michelle Dahlwin said, is the pool install still on budget?
Well, yeah, we haven't added anything really along the way. The only thing that ended up happening was the concrete around the pool and the sidewalk and all of that ended up being a bit more expensive than we were expecting.
Yeah.
But we got quotes, and actually the first quote ended up being the most affordable of all of them. So we actually did a price check, and everyone else was even more expensive.
They were more expensive. And next week, or the following week after next week, so in a couple of weeks, we'll show you, I guess, what we were originally thinking of doing. Remember how we wanted like the diamond shaped pavers, and then with the turf going through it, just looking really pretty. Well, the price tag on that was a no-no.
It was a pretty penny.
And we got 3 quotes for all of that too, and just regular plain old poured concrete. Everything is expensive.
They wanted us to throw in our firstborn, basically.
Everything is expensive. I mean, of course, we know it's going to be expensive, but it's like we didn't think it would be that great of a value because our backyard isn't that large, and to do something that decorative just for like a smaller space. But it just was crazy. I was like, this is highway robbery.
Yeah.
You're mixing some mud and water together.
Essentially, what would you say? It's maybe a space that's like 6 feet by maybe 30, I would say, to put in the decorative
pavers,
turf, was like an extra like $6-7 grand. It's just like, this is not making sense.
Because the concrete itself was super expensive, and then to buy the lumber so that they can make the the moldings of the diamonds. Then, so that was one price, which was crazy. Then we still had to buy the material of the turf and then the installation of the turf.
Yeah.
So it was just adding up. And so we were like, okay, let's just botch that. And so then we had, but that ended up being more than what we anticipated.
But other than that, we've stuck to the original plan, and we didn't go cheap. We got several quotes for the pool builder. We didn't go with the cheapest one. We went with the one that we thought made the most sense. And but no, it's been they haven't caught us with any add-ons, not yet.
Yeah, they tried though. They tried.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want a barbecue? You're not going to do a barbecue island? You're not going to do this? Are you putting any new floors? No. Just build the pool,
He was very
please.
disappointed too, because he had the computer out. He was ready to do the drawing and draw it up. And
just build
like,
the pool.
No, we're all right. We're all right.
Right. So we are on budget. For the set budget that we had initially for the pool, but just like we said, just with the concrete, we didn't have a price for that set yet, and so what we thought in our mind, it was more than that. But yeah, we haven't busted any budgets.
We've been hanging in there.
Yeah, it's been fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is from Isabella, watching in Dubai.
Oh, what's up?
She says, is Adam Jr. into music too? Does he play any instruments?
He's played a ton of instruments over the years. He was playing a little bit of guitar, a little bit of piano. He was doing saxophone in band. At one point, he was doing trumpet as well. And every once in a while, we hear him sing a little bit too. But
he sounds so good.
He does sound good. But you know what? He really he's a strong-minded individual, and he wants to carve his own path. And he said that to us several times. He's like, no, I want to do my own thing. Yeah. Or he'll say something like, you just want me to do what you do. So he's very defiantly, and you know what? Everything he does that he's passionate about, he does at a high level. Achieves in a gets incredible grades, does great at his activities he does. So we're just really proud of him and excited that he has a vision, because sometimes it's hard trying to figure out what do you want to do with your life. And he already has a direction he wants to go, which is design, coding.
Something very technical.
Animation. Yeah. Those kinds of areas, engineering.
He's very much into STEM and into tech, and he's just a great academic scholar. Yeah. He's really serious about that, very intelligent and advanced in math. He's a great sketch artist, and so definitely something in that end. He loves video games, not only playing them, but he's also super interested in how they work. And not just how they work, but also interested in the business side of it and how a company makes money and how different avenues work inside of a company. And he's very impressive and surprises us so much, when he has different questions or when he's just done research himself and he's telling us about it. And Adam has a great friend that he grew up with, Jake who
Brownson
owns his own application company. They make gaming apps for your phone and your tablet. And so he and Adam Jr., they kind of correspond with each other back and forth, and Jake is always impressed with the questions that Adam has for him, or even just little things that he does. And so we just kind of just back him up with whatever he wants to do, and that's not music now.
But that's all right. There's plenty of us out here trying to figure out how to be musicians, so it's all good. It's all good. So we're very proud of him.
It's all good. Yeah. So those are the questions we have.
Awesome.
So far.
Well, thank you so much, honey.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week.
See you guys next week.
All right. And as you know, this is the time to let you know who's coming through next week. And I'm very excited to have the one and only Niels making his reappearance. He was with us maybe 6 months ago. And he has a brand new song out. It's fantastic. We're going to share his music video and also, of course, do a throwback to one of our guitar duels that we did way back when he was here the first time. So tune in next week for Niels. Brand new music, a brand new episode for you right here on Adam Holly Artist Page. and we're going to have a blast. Hope you'll join us. So, hey, I'm going to do one more tune for you before we get out of here. Let me grab my guitar. And this is a fun one I like to throw in when I feel like in kind of a little party vibe. This is a tune called Sunday Swing off of my Escape album. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of AH Live. We had the incredible Jeff Ryan with us today, and we hope you will tune in next week for brand new music from the one and only Neil. Thanks so much. We'll see you all next time.